Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be playing in the Alchemy Early Access event for Baldur's Gate, the new Alchemy Direct set. So these cards will be legal in Alchemy as well as in Historic. It is kind of a play on the Baldur's Gates set release that came out in paper a couple weeks ago. So we're playing in the Early Access event against other streamers. We'll be playing Best of 1 Alchemy today, trying out some of the new cards in a couple different shells. I think a lot of the cards have more of an impact on Brawl than Constructed, but there's a couple cool cards that I do want to try out in this format. So we're going to try them out in shells that are already kind of good, or just like cards that we know are good in essence. So the first deck I want to build around is Tasha Unholy Archmage. I think this card is very good. 4 mana, 4/4 Planeswalker, +1 until the next turn whenever a creature attacks you or Tasha. You put a 1/1 counter on it, so it shrinks their attackers, kind of a delayed board wipe. -2, you get to reanimate basically what they choose as their worst creature, your opponent, from their graveyard, and it gets Ward 2. And then -6, they basically mill cards until you reveal 3 creatures and you put them onto the battlefield. Against like blue-white control with no creatures, they just kind of lose the game. So I want to try that out in kind of a blue-black control deck. So removal, we have Bloodchief's Thirst, we have Cast Down, which was reintroduced in the format. I think this one is going to be pretty good and flexible. Plunder, we have Mind Spike, which is Duress with upside that can draw you cards if you don't hit. So lots of discard here. We got Invoke Despair on the top end. Divide by 0, while nerfed, it's still super playable card. I want to try out Black Market Connections. It's basically a buffed Phyrexian Arena. You pay some amount of life, you could choose up to 3, so you can either create a treasure for a life, draw a card and lose 2 life, or create a 3/2 and lose 3 life. So kind of a cool way around there. You'd even be interested in trying this out in like clerics and stuff like this because they're changelings. And then just kind of playing around with the rest. Some Tenacious Underdogs for value out of the graveyard. 1 Bind to Secrecy for a cheeky counter. Soaring in here for life gain. A-Cosmos Elixir for life gain. Saiba Siphoner to buy back stuff from our graveyard. Get extra copies of Invoke. Citystalker to attack the hand. And Lolth as another Planeswalker. So these numbers might not ultimately be right, but we're going to give it a shot. Because we're on a learn board, we also have access to like sciences, teaching, pest summonings, some removal, mascot, and confront the past to rebuy Tasha. Really just want to try to cast Tasha as much as possible. So let's jump into this, see how it goes. Alchemy match. Let's go. So this is really like for fun, so we won't be playing like the tightest lines. We'll probably move cards in and out as we get some more experience with it and kind of go from there. Okay, well we have Tasha in hand. We could do nothing until then, but we got Tasha in hand. Let's try this out. I'm going to lead on this first because this lets me play a spell on 2 if we hit 1. We can also just kind of ramp into turn 4 Invoke Despair if needed. Divide's actually nice because it could tempo us for this Tasha play. We are going to scry here. They might be on dragons. I think I want removal at this point. Yeah, they're on dragons. So I'm going to do this. We'll take 2 points of damage. It's actually an interesting line. Let's just go Tasha. So this basically stops Magda from being able to attack. They could have Dragonfire here.
Beware. I know some sickening magic.
Wrathful Dragon. Whenever a dragon deals to any target that isn't a dragon. See, gold span. Land? Yay. So perpetually gets that. So I can force him to discard. I think we're just invoking here. I just don't want the mana production of a gold span. We have Mind Spike for next turn, depending if they have another spell. So that deals combat damage. So we can probably tempo them for a bit. That's good as well. You're not legendary. Now I can just divide by 0. I can't protect myself here. And our life total's a little low, so I think we're just going to do this turn. Next turn I can Soaring. Dragonfire is not bad. You can go away for a turn. So they'll play this out again, gives me another turn. That's fine because I could Invoke Despair it.
My ways are
No pain, no gain. Get this guy going in now, gain us some life. Fog them for a turn.
You deal with this annoyance.
Play this out. Gives me a couple lethal. I was one off of the Hall win. We unfortunately don't have a dragon of our own, but can do that. Follow it up with Dragonfire. The tempo play has been good this game. They unfortunately had the Dragonfire, otherwise like we were able to control their creatures on board. Salt Rope, what's happening? Disconnect. Friend. Friend. What's wrong? You or me? Okay, well. We basically won this game. For all intents and purposes, we had the Hall and everything. We'll just get the next game going. I don't know if they got disconnected. Nope. Looks like server thing. Give me a sec. So it wasn't our poor sportsmanship. It was the client crashed. Let's see if we can get a game in. Some of the fun of early access. Alrighty, we're back in. See if we can Tasha some opponents. I think this hand's fine. We do need to draw one land, but only one land. This will kind of draw us into the rest of the game. So I usually hold this just in case we flood a bit. It could be relevant. And there on dragons. So we'll make a treasure here, probably draw a card. Everyone on dragons today? Yikes. I didn't play Meat Hook because it got buffed, nerfed. So I can do this. I can draw a card. I think I want to try to find Tasha. You may return target creature to its owner's hand. Can't be blocked as long as you have a non-creature spell. So we can see. Depending what they do, we just tempo them for the turn. Probably should have done that pre-combat. Yikes. Punished. No fear. So I can do this. I basically need to try to draw into Tasha here. I basically could pay 1 life versus 2. It's a little bit more efficient. So we can kill this the following turn. Doesn't have haste. We wanted a land there, but our life total was too low. Just try to grind them out this way. Tasha will help with these small creatures. I might need to get Sciences. Ooh, that's actually a good one to bounce because they have to discard a card and it kind of tempos them out. Let's just get Sciences at this point. We'll get another blue source here, I think. We'll get rid of this. Well, we're definitely getting rid of Burn Down the House. Okay, we might have stabilized, because they're going to be inclined to big score here. I can divide by 0. Ancient Copper Dragon. You can put that back in your hand. And then I can discard it with the Citystalker. Well, I gotta choose. They don't give me a choice. Let's just eat away at all their hands, get another dragon. So I can go Den here. I have a limited amount of turns. Basically 2 turns. So let's invoke first. Do this. I'm actually just dead. So this black market's a little bit of a liability. We are 1 off. It wasn't bad, like it kind of did what we wanted. I think we go down to 1. We're just not gaining enough life. I'm just gonna play a Fading Hope. Or we'll play 1 Meat Hook. I think like, so we probably want like a sweeper or something. Fading Hope's still super efficient. Let's try that. Because we can like stabilize pretty hard. I guess we can do like Tainted Indulgence as well. It's not bad. Like there's options there. Had we drawn Tasha, would have held out the opponent. I think we keep. It's not like a great hand, but we're a blue away from it being reasonable. Opponent is literally playing just a constructed deck. Like we're at least trying out cards, like Dimir's not really a deck. Not great to decline here, but I need a blue mana. I think we're just dead here. Mana didn't work out for us. We needed like at least a turn there with a mana drop to try to hit this Invoke Despair, because we don't really want to bounce Trespasser. To the server die. We got a lot of duels too, which is kind of annoying. 12 duels. It's just a lot of blue lines here. Thank you. I think it's right to do this and just wait, because if they go Citystalker, I want to counter it, and I don't necessarily want a 2-for-1 myself. I just need a land here. Because I don't think we're in a terrible spot. Yeah. So we'll go Tasha here.
Don't come any closer.
I'm hoping Tasha forces him to use this Molten Impact as kind of a distraction turn. We needed this Invoke Despair. And there wasn't really creatures in the graveyard to reanimate this turn, so I couldn't even get the protection, and then they still had this to just pay the ward. So at least like this, we're going to 2-spell them.
Little thing you are. Cherish this rare moment.
Land. Land. Give me a land. We're dead here. I don't understand what the slow play there was. Alright, we get the line too. So I just don't want this to flip. So I can rebuy Invoke Despair here. This lets me block the Trespasser. We're dead. That one was kind of shitty. Like, you expect to be able to at least hit your colors, but that opponent wasn't even playing any new cards. Like, at least try stuff out. They were literally playing the same Rakdos list that's always been around. see how it goes. Like, at least the other one's dragons. Like, you can argue, like, yes, we're playing some other cards, but at least we're trying it out in a different shell. I think we need, like, heavier removal earlier. Anybody? Anybody? Let's actually make some switches. I haven't liked the, trim on a siphoner, I think. Divest has been fine. Like, what do we want? Honestly, Bloodchief's pretty bad. Go up another Fading Hope. There's like Hero's Downfall. I don't really want to play Infernal Grasp. And then this doesn't hit dragons, which we're seeing a lot of dragons. Like there's Path to Peril, but that's not great. Okay, let's do one Grasp, one Hero's Downfall. Let's try this again. Haven't been able to get a good enough go with Tasha. We might need like a blocker package. Maybe we do Graveyard Trespassers in there. More Tenacious Underdogs just because they trade up. Alright, found an opponent. Let's see who we're playing. Wilk Kamitani. Alright, hand looks decent. A lot of tempo. Equipped creature has trample whenever equipped creature deals damage, yada yada, to your hand. This is actually pretty good. I get to bounce whatever they play Tasha on a clear board. Fighters class. So we'll just bounce that. I think cast down's probably fine. They're going to be a creature heavy deck, so. Let's try to ult Tasha.
Keep your distance, mortals. Beware. I know some sickening magic.
I just don't want them to get value off the arms. They can equip tier, but I can bounce it. I can get sciences from this, help me keep hitting line drops. I can also just loot away this fighters class with Divide by Zero. Their creatures aren't great. Alright. Uncheck Tasha. Too much to handle. Yeah, I think those tempo elements there serve a little bit better. Because then the nice thing about Tasha, if you're on a clear board when they're on like weenies, they basically can attack in. So you're able to kind of lock them out. Alright. They're on Tasha emoji. Or, yeah, I'm on a Johnny. Nobody likes a Johnny. Let's take their land. Maybe screw them over that way. Like, this dying's not the end of the world. It comes back anyways. And if anything, the way my hand's composed, I wouldn't mind it coming back. And then this gets rid of... And also, this is going to be Rakdos. Like, seeing this, they're Rakdos. They're like Rakdos aggro. Let's do this turn. I'm still winning this race. And depending on what they come out with, like, I can target it as they reconfigure. At the beginning of your end step, a random non-land card in your hand perpetually gains when you cast this card, you lose 3 life. Alright, we're aggro Dimir now. They're probably on the new Death Shadowy guy. When it attacks, put a flame counter that seek a card mana value equal to face down. So we're on 8 already. And that Oni line actually just hurt us. We've also drawn like nothing but lands, which hasn't helped. I love taking 3 damage off my removal spell. Actually pretty good. Refills your hand. I am dead unless we get Tasha. Divide buys me a chance. Do I have pest summonings? I do. Yeah, you know what? I like to live dangerous. That's a good one. If they have haste, they have haste. One, two, three, four, five, 6. 7. What do? Whenever Berserker attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. I can Invoke Despair this, gets rid of the Blood Ski or the Saga. I can do this, that shrinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because then next turn I can play both of these, which might be correct. Because I'm also just dead to Kumano here. Like a second Kumano. Draw a lot of lines. Blade of Oni. Buys me a turn, tries to find some more removal. Right now I just get a 2/2 back with Tasha. Oh, that might actually work.
Let's make this snappy. I'm busy. Give it your best shot, adventure. Fight fair.
This might buy me a turn.
Beware. I know some sickening magic.
Because they need double black to reconfigure here. I need 6 to specialize. This can let me gain some life, and then I also have... Ooh, Divide's good.
Give it your best shot, adventurers.
Might be able to stabilize here. We need removal. Den is a bit scary. I think we just do this. So I can go teachings here. And then we ultimate.
You got lucky, that's all. If you weren't impressed before, you better be now.
Then we cast you.
Huh. I thought we did too many witch hunters. Don't.
What we
come
aren't going to be
any
doing is casting
closer.
Black Market. Plunder's not good. Okay, this Cosmos Elixir is keeping us alive. What do you do? Oh, what a game. What a game. Alright, gonna wrap this up. Tasha was really sweet. I'm glad we got that one up in the games. Catch you next time. If you do have any cool decks you'd like to see with the new cards, let me know. And stay safe out there.